Hey YouTube, White Girl Ninja here. I'm going to go over my gear. I have a Cortec LRX Air jacket that I kind of bought real quick after I got my first bike. But it's turned out to be a comfortable jacket, decent enough for Texas winters. It has a full liner, plenty of pockets for storage. I wear it high 40s to low 50s with an extra long sleeve shirt underneath, and I possibly could do a little jacket would fit underneath, but works pretty well. Can sometimes still be a little chilly, but it works for these pretty mild Texas winters. Starting to see a little bit of wear and tear. But yeah, it's more of a cool weather jacket. It doesn't really have any vents on it, just pockets and storage. I have used it for the summers here, so it gets a little warm even with the quilted liner out. But it's been a pretty good jacket for the last year and a half or so. And then I have Revit riding pants. I wear them as over pants, but I think they're meant just to be worn as pants, so I buy them a little large so that I can wear them over my clothing. These pants came with a waterproof liner plus a quilted liner, so I think they're more of a cooler weather pant, but I did wear them last summer, and still a little warm, but they work, you know, they're protection. I loved the reflective tape and just the look of the cargo pockets, and then it has the vented zippers here for a little bit of ventilation, not much. But mostly I bought these pants because of the color. I didn't want black because of the heat, so Revit it's a little on the expensive side, but worth it. You know, they're comfortable, they're holding up well, and mostly I went for them because of the color and the sun and the heat. So I recently, a couple weeks ago, got these mesh pants that are going to be these will be my summer riding pants. So they have these mesh panels all the way up the front, and then also on the back. So hopefully this will be a lot cooler if I'm riding to work this summer in the Texas heat. So I haven't worn these on the bike yet. Not quite warm enough. It's getting there. But so I'm assuming they'll work out well. They have the big long zippers on the sides for getting them on and off. I don't really use those. I just slip them on over my pants. I buy them big enough that I actually had to, the first pair I bought were going to be a little too small, so I had to return them and get one size up. I say for the ladies Revit, it runs really small, because like I said, I think they're not meant to be over pants. But so I have to go, probably 2 or 3 sizes up from what you should wear, so that I can wear them over my clothing. But yeah, I buy them mostly for the looks, for the lighter color, and yeah, they turned out to be really good pants. And these are the Tornado mesh pants. And then I bought this jacket last summer. It's an all mesh hot weather jacket. I only wore it a couple times before fall and winter came, so I'm kind of excited to get to wear it again. As you can see, I like color. Blue's my favorite color, so most of this stuff, the pants never really go on sale. But I try to get most of my stuff on clearance, I just try and watch, for closeouts and stuff they're getting rid of, and hope they have my size and the color that I want. And so it's been pretty good so far. The jacket did come with a waterproof layer in it. But hopefully I won't have to use that too much. Just be using it in the warm weather. It's got adjustable Velcro sides and reflective piping on the back. That awesome lettering on the sleeve there, which I really liked. Yeah. And then when I first started riding, I wore the Icon kind of neon vest for safety. I don't really wear that anymore since I feel a lot more comfortable with my riding and me watching out for other drivers. But, you know, if you're a first-time rider and you want a little more protection, you know, or if you want to make sure that people will see you, then I used to wear this over my jacket. And also, since I was riding more this winter, I think this is just like a snow skiing protective layer for around your neck, and I would just tuck the bottom into my jacket and then tuck the top into my helmet, and it would kind of stop the cold air from coming up into my helmet and keep my neck warm. So it worked really good. It was only like, you know, 10 or 15 bucks at Academy Sports, so it worked for me. I guess I kind of have a large glove selection here, depending on my mood and the weather and, you know, what I feel like wearing. These are a little, you know, less protection. You know, I felt like looking like a girl, so I got some pink there. But yeah, I think I got these. I got these at Sports Authority. I think these are just snow skiing gloves too. I only wore them a couple times, not a whole lot. But, you know, they're got a lot of padding. I mean, they're not motorcycle gloves, but, you know, when it gets down into the 40s and I want something to... I mean, I think you're more comfortable riding if your feet and your hands are warm. So they worked good. You know, they kept my hands warm. Just some couple Shift gloves, couple Scorpion, Alpine Stars for cooler weather. You know, when you first get these leather gloves, you're like, oh man, these are not going to be comfortable. You know, it takes a little while to break them in, but they ended up being all right. I'm really enjoying, I just got these Scorpion gloves. You know, they're leather and they have the carbon fiber knuckles. And they're really comfortable. You know, there's a few spots, when you always get leather, there's a few spots that you always feel like you're going to rub your hand the wrong way, but, you know, you just break them in a little bit. And they always end up feeling comfortable on the bike, so. I have 2 Scorpion helmets. Scorpion is, you know, it's a decent price. I just can't see myself spending $300 or $400 on a helmet. So, well, some people will say they have, you know, issues with whistling and, you know, noise, but I mean, all in all, I think it's a pretty quiet helmet. I really don't have any issues with whistling from the, you know, my shields close pretty tightly. I haven't really, you know, if you turn your head to the side, it might whistle a little bit, but, you know, riding straight forward, I haven't had any issues. They both have plenty of ventilation, chin. There's some front vents here, another vent, you know, right here on the top, exhaust vents on the back, you know, so I think they're, you know, good in summer and winter. And also it has the shields are, you know, real easy and quick to replace, you know, whether I'm riding to work in the morning or in the evening, so, you know, it's really just takes a minute to change out to my clear shield. But yeah, both of my helmets are smalls. I just recently, this one is the 750 Kingdom, and which I just, as soon as I saw it, I love the graphics, you know, I loved the wings and the color. So that's basically why I went for that helmet. I originally had bought, when I first, like everything was kind of bought in a hurry when I got my first bike, and, you know, I didn't really know what size I was supposed to wear. So I had originally gotten an 1100 and a medium, and that was just, ended up being too big. I knew it was too big. You know, the helmet wasn't as tight as it should be. So I just recently got this helmet, the 1100 Preciosa, I guess is how you would call it. I think it's a little bit heavier than the 750, but still, yeah, it has a lot of, big air vents. Has these big flip-up vents on top. And once again, the visor is real easy to replace. The main thing that I like about this helmet is the flip-down visor, so that you don't, on really sunny days, you don't have to carry an extra pair of sunglasses with you, or depending on what you're doing. So I love that. Or, if I'm sitting at a stoplight and I want airflow and I want to flip up my tinted visor, and then I can flip down the little tinted goggles and, get some airflow, but still have sun protection. So that's what I really like about this helmet. They're both smalls, but the 1100, the cheek pads are a little bit different. It fits a little bit tighter. So I still need to break it in. It feels a lot snugger than the 750. And they both also have the pump up cheek pads, which I really like. So you can kind of, adjust the helmet to your personal fit. The 1100 right now, I don't have to pump up at all because it's still pretty tight. But my 750 is loosened up, so, I just pump up the cheek pads to what feels good. A nice, snug fit so it doesn't move around. And so, yeah, I've been happy with my Scorpion helmets. And I've been happy with all my gear. I get all my gear from Motorcycle Superstore. They have a great return policy. It's real easy to return, It takes a little bit to get a refund. When I had to return those pants, I ordered the other pair before I got my refund, but, it took a couple weeks to get my other money back on my credit card, but, so yeah. Hopefully that was a good explanation of all the gear, and hopefully that'll help out the ladies and anybody who's looking for specific brands. So thank you for watching.